Hello everybody, this is Dilek with Nokta Macro. Just one. I've been reading, of course, posts and Nokta Macro is so proud of their quality and all that. Why aren't we offering a longer warranty on the device, and it's only 2 years? So that's why now actually before I say that, I have mentioned a few times that we're working on increasing our warranty period, but seeing and reading all these posts and comments, we decided to actually offer 3 years warranty on the Legend, okay, instead of 2 versus the 2 on the other products. So just to make you guys happy, because this is one of the criticisms and comparisons people were making, so we decided to give 3 years warranty on the Legend. Now I need to check whether the boxes are already printed. Most probably they are. So the boxes will say 2-year warranty, but we're gonna work on a quick solution, maybe to have some stickers on the boxes covering the 2-year with the new 3-year warranty. Okay, and we're gonna be updating the website today with a 3-year warranty. Okay, and but you may see, I don't know, I mean, we're trying to change everything, but because it's a last minute thing, if we miss something, sorry guys, but we'll try to update the boxes, the documentation with this information and the website. But yeah, I hope this makes some of the customers happy, okay, that it's not 2 years, it's 3 years, and we'll try to actually offer the 3 years on our future products as well. But we'll start with the Legend, since that's the one that, you know, got the most amount of probably comments on regarding the warranty period. So yes, unlike the claims out there, we are behind this product, guys. Do not worry, okay? If it's a warranty thing, we were offering 2 year, we can offer 3 year, not a problem, okay? Thank you so much, and that's all I wanted to say. I know you have a bunch of other questions.
I love Garrett machines. I've always had Garrett machines.
I mean, so it's an easy one if you've got a copy.
These lists, clearly, I'm sure you know. know about the tail on it is, the 18 Pro, that's good. That's what it is. Yeah, and I think Dave and Luke done very well on that.
Adrian and Dave just come up on his land.
It's Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the Big Detector Show. And apologies for the start. I got confused. I thought I was running it and Luke was here. We're all here. We're all here, Adrian. You're back. I missed you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Son decided to put mastic in his eye and let it dry. So it went hard and had to get it removed in hospital. So, yeah. So, yeah, a bit of a nightmare. But you're all right?
He's all right, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, son and he, boys do stuff like that. Like I put leg up my nose when I was about 6 just to see what it was like, and it got stuck. I had to go and get it removed. I also put a pea up my nose. Do you remember when you were at school and you used to plant peas in plastic cups and they used to grow? Well, I put mine up my nose and it got stuck, but I didn't tell anyone. And I didn't tell mum, dad, teacher or anything. And about a week later, it started sprouting.
It's not anything in Essex, though, you lot, won't you?
Well, not anything, but yeah. So,
well, peas, obviously.
Yeah. But the best bit is I didn't too scared to tell the teacher. So everyone's pea grew, but mine didn't. And that's because I didn't plant it.
Well, it did, but it grew down your
nose. Haunts me. It haunts me. I wake up every night worrying about it, but yeah, I'm good. You all right? You've got a bit of an injury, haven't you?
I have. Well, it's not an injury. It's just I did injure myself at work last week and forgot about it. And then what day was it? Wednesday morning, I woke up about 4 o'clock in so much pain it was untrue, and I had to take myself to the A&E because, well, it started the night before, but I was in so much pain by 4 o'clock I had to go to the hospital and end up I've got a trapped medial tendon in my right arm, and yes, it bloody hurts.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Well, I won't be my swinging arm.
Can you wipe going to the toilet? All right.
I've got a left hand for that.
Oh, we'll just use a sponge on a stick like the Romans did.
I haven't got a sponge on a stick though.
No, I use it every morning. So we've got a lot on tonight, haven't we?
We have, and you missed a fantastic guest last week.
I did, yeah. Very nice lady. Forgotten her name now.
Helen Chamberlain.
Helen Chamberlain, yeah. So
yes, her and Pete were great guests. Can't thank them enough for coming on last week. Shocked me because I said to her Detectable in July about coming on, and she said yes, and obviously here we are.
Dave, is your microphone pointing at you?
It is now.
Oh, right. It was going loud and quiet and loud.
Yeah, it's because I kept moving. Is that better? All right now. Yes, we've got a busy show tonight. Hey, before we start, do you remember? I mentioned it last week's show for the people who were watching last week about 13-year-old Millie who found the Bronze Age axe hoard. Yeah, have you heard it, seen it in the news? Yeah. There was another one found on exactly the same farm by someone else. Would you believe?
Really?
Yeah. I think the one she found was something like 63 objects. And then there's another one being found as well. Mm-hmm. And also, I showed people this last week, which come last week. You can see it all right. Bennett's Artifacts. Fantastic book. Look at this.
Book.
Full of wondrous things.
I must admit, I got mine this week. I've had trouble with the post. It's behind me, but I've just realised I've left my detecting backpack.
What you walkie-talkie for? Is you walkie-talkie for shouting to Mrs. The housing manager?
I need a drink. No, I use that when I'm detecting. This is my backpack, which I reviewed in this month's treasure hunting, which is out.
The one with wings and stuff that you can jump off high buildings and float down.
Yeah, I've got a parachute in it. But no, that book, Artifacts, fantastic, because not that we detect for money, or some may do, but we do it for the love of history. But there's guide prices to things in there, which shocks me. Some of the stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
and I think they're conservative prices as well. But there's really good photos in there, and it's all stuff sold through auctions and that. So it's really interesting.
It's well worth a buy for Christmas, as is this beautiful tome as well, which we can't forget.
Oh, that book, I haven't stopped reading that.
It is tremendous. So don't forget, both of them are on sale from Greenlight Publishing at the moment. There's a little guide that comes with your with them. Some fantastic books in there. Other than that as well. So
I must admit, it's hard when you get to our age what you want for Christmas, and books is always a good call, especially when you learn from it. So, or metal detectors, or pinpointers, or whatever. But yeah,
cakes,
beer, wine, or wine. What
wine?
I had my Christmas do last night, metal detecting club. I apologise, Lisa Allen, if you're watching. I poured probably about a pint of red wine all over her. White jeans, top, and everything. Yeah, it's like she said, I'm very vocal with my hands. Don't know what that means. Oh, nice
do you do like I think that means like Macatan sign language or something like that? If you're very vocal with your hands,
it's what
Macatan sign language. You've seen Mr. Tumble?
Yes,
yes, yeah. That's Macatan sign. Thank you. Sorry, number. Thank you. He says that. Thank you. Oh. Yeah.
I like what live stream investigator, I think it's Rob Random. How did you get your face on the cover of that book? I think it's the third person I've heard say that.
I actually ran into a glass door and basically Dan Goldberg just took a print of it straight away.
Oh, dear. Right.
Shall we bring tonight's guest in?
Which one? Well, go on. Yeah.
TC.
Well, of course it is, yeah. No, yeah.
Hello, TC. How are you?
Good evening, all. I'm hoping you can hear me, chaps.
Yes, we can hear you dandy and fine.
Wow, technology is actually working. And look at that. I'm not fuzzy on the camera for a change.
Yeah, you got a new webcam.
It's brand new phone, Adrian. I thought, bugger to the laptops, iPads and everything else. We'll just go with a new phone.
Yeah. And I like your Christmas background with the unicorns on as well.
And cleverly, where's it gone? That side, the Atrex there, just sitting there, ready, waiting, poised to go out. He's got it.
He's got it out.
Yeah, got it.
His Atrex. Why have you got unicorns in the Christmas story?
Yeah, I'm just looking at that.
So it's not a Christmas tapestry. So we live in a really old house, about 300 years old. So we decided to put something old in the house. So the tapestries.
But you're already there, mate. You're already there.
Thank you for that. Welcome. There's not that much of an age difference, mate. Yeah, the tapestry is meant to be medieval. Now, clearly, it's not a medieval tapestry. It's a Chinese knockoff, but it is a medieval tapestry hung up somewhere or other in a castle.
Did they have unicorns in medieval days?
Of course they did, yeah, absolutely.
Or they like them narwhals with legs?
Yeah, well, isn't that where most sort of myths come from? Manatees being mermaids and all that sort of malarkey.
Yeah, that's
I'll have a look on Wish tonight for that. I'll have a look on wish.com for that tonight.
It's brilliant. It's about 30 quid from China, including postage and packing.
I can assure you, Adrian, if you order something like that from Wish, it'll just end up being a drawing on a piece of paper by a 4-year-old child.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you, Tony? Keeping all right?
I am awesome as always, as you would expect. Everything.
I hate it. I hate it when Luke put that view on. I have to move.
I'm using my new gimbal tonight, and the gimbal's got a tracker on it. So the gimbal itself, rather than the camera, is following me around the room.
Is that like a chocolate bar? And if so, do you take it out detecting with you?
Yeah. Let's go with that.
So, Tony, what's happening now then? You're moving away from the Rutus Atrex. Well, you're keeping the Rutus Atrex 71, I presume, but you've got the new Atrex.
So I have the new Atrex. I've had it for all of 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was. The Alta 71 will stay with me for a little while, but I have a feeling that the Atrex will quickly take over and become my detector of choice again, just like the Rutus, the Alta 71.
I mean, it's not available yet, is it?
Yep. It's up and available to order from Detectnics as of couple of hours ago.
Oh,
Hey, look
and-
at that. We've got a show launch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me just get the details for you because I did some prep for a change. I forgot to get any beer, so I'm sitting here with a whiskey instead. But hey,
I'm
can't
glad you
everything.
did. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're all prepared.
Yeah, it's right. Right. So, if we stop showing off. Yeah, you've got one as well.
I've had it for
I
about a
don't
year. Had it about
Not the
a
only
year.
one
No,
who's had Santa come early.
yeah, he came early. Yeah, I've had it about a year, so I'm interested in what your thoughts are. No, I haven't. Anyone watching? I got it yesterday.
I would have had to come down to Essex and kneecap you if that had been true, Adrian.
You wouldn't get through the border, Tony. That's why I
No,
can't see Dave.
absolutely. You're in quarantine down there again, aren't you?
Yeah.
Moved to Christmas after all. They're bound to lock you
yeah.
all down.
So you've both got an Atrex. I got a picture of one.
Oh, okay. Do you want to know the prices then? Shall I tell you the prices?
Yeah, we'll start
Go
with the
on, then.
prices.
So it comes. There's 4 versions that Detectnics have. There is the Atrex with the 28 centimeter black coil for $615. The Atrex with the 29 centimeter white coil for $635. And then, yeah, there you go. Well done, Adrian. It's like having an assistant. It's great. And then there's the same 2 packages, but with the wireless receiver included. So with the black coil, that's $665, and with the white coil, $685. And you can order them right now on Detectnics.
And the white coil is mighty sexy. Some might not like it, but I like it. It's like the HF coil on the Deus, but it's slightly bigger, 1 centimeter bigger, isn't it?
So a centimetre bigger. So I assume that's marginal extra depth as well as stability improvements because it's white, so it's less susceptible to temperature and sunlight interference, is my understanding of why there's a white one. Apart from the fact that it looks very sexy as well. Well,
Yeah.
until I get out in the mud, and then it will look quite so sexy. It'll look like my car.
And
Put a nice jacket on it and a pair of Wellings and something like that. Might look.
you could
might
knit
work all right.
something.
Oh, that might
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put that tapestry around it.
Yeah, that might be problematic. The tapestry is quite large and heavy.
Sorry, Adrian.
Is that what the T stands for? Tapestry Cawood detects.
Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, it won't be my first name or anything obvious like that, will
No.
it?
We can't get
So-
buttoned into that.
Tony, Tony, before we get on to like the features on the new Atrex and the differences between the Auto 71, structurally, all right, there's a white coil. What else is there? What's different in the actual build of it?
In the construction, nothing's different. So the stem is the same, colour's the same, the weight is exactly the same. Takes the same takes the chain batteries, screen's the same, everything's the same. So it's all the same quality build that you expect from Rutus and with the 71. The big difference from that point of view is there's a colour screen, which I think is not quite unique, but nearly unique on detectors. So colour screens go along with all the other sexy stuff that you already get with a Rutus.
And it's not from China, the screen, I understand, which is quite revolutionary. Eric, I remember him telling us it's not a Chinese screen, and that enables him to be able to tweak things and change things. So,
Can I ask why it's got the white coil? Because white coils, to me, I don't want it. It's like having a white car. It gets dirtier than a black car.
Well, you look at the HF coils on the Deus, and they don't tend to get that dirty. So,
Oh, mine would.
Yeah, I suppose it also makes you clean it more, really. But no, there's temperature changes as well,
Yeah.
Dave. Like
True, yeah.
yeah, the sun.
The technical reason is for the temperature change. So in direct
like that.
sunlight, it's less susceptible to the effects of direct sunlight.
I
No,
actually
but-
like that, and it explains. I've never thought of that. I've never heard of that, and it does make a lot of sense when it comes to obviously technology within coils.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it until Eric told us about it, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I wonder why nobody else does that. So
hasn't he got a white shaft instead of a black or dark shaft?
Are we on to shafts already? I mean,
No,
we're only 20 minutes in.
actually, I mean that. Why has it got why hasn't it got a lighter shaft to go with it?
I don't know. Maybe Apple have got the sort of,
Sorry, talking of
copyright on
shaft,
such things.
the bottom shaft is got like a carbon fiber print on it, hasn't it?
Yes, but I'm getting confused with all my different shafts now because I've got so many, and because I've swapped mine out and I've got a straight shaft on my Alta
Adrian,
71. I can't quite remember what the original construction of it was.
High five, Adrian.
Dave's
High
in
five.
fits of giggles.
Yeah. So it's structurally exactly the same. It's the coil's waterproof. The control box isn't waterproof. The battery case isn't waterproof, but it does have we'll get onto the features in a minute, but it does have a water reject option now for detecting on the beach, doesn't it?
One of the comments stroke feedback on the original Alta 71 was it wasn't well designed or particularly adaptable for beach and water detecting. There wasn't like a program for it or anything like that. All of that's been addressed with the Atrex, though must stress so nobody goes and throws it in a lake or anything like that. The rest of it's not waterproof. Just the coil and the programs have been adapted so far. Although you're more than welcome to amuse us with the video of you putting yours in a lake if you want, Adrian. I know.
No. I am looking forward to beach detecting with it, and I don't know. I think a lot of testing, not that it wasn't done on the Alta 71, but this is going to be a lot more comfortable on the beach from what I have gathered. And also, you've got the multi-filter technology, which do you want to explain that? Because I'm still getting my head around it.
Multi what? Sorry,
filter technology.
Right.
So let's see if I can remember. And I've not tested this yet, so I've not even been out with the machine yet. The multi-filter technology uses, in essence, a different set of filters within the setup, so that when you're in highly mineralized ground, if the mineralized ground is, in essence, is too strong in terms of the signal it's giving, the multi-filter then helps to filter that out further. It kind of ignores the mineralization in the ground. So when you'd normally lose depth because of high mineralization in the ground, this helps combat that and gives you the depth back and helps with your speed of swing and things like that. So you should be able to use it more easily, more effectively, more normally, I guess, in highly mineralized ground. There's a really good video that Arthur, who Underground Passion, I think you'll find him on YouTube, does a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure why Underground Passion. It sounds like it could be something that you'd find on a hub type site. Anyway, but it's not that. His videos are very good, and some of them are dubbed in, subtitled in English to help as well. There's a really good one on there on the multi-filter and how it works with mineralized ground. Some really good demos on there. But in essence, it should help combat when you've got highly mineralized ground. So when we were at Detectiveville, the summer Detectiveville, I think there were a few fields that were quite mineralized. Would it be ideal for somewhere like that?
Yeah. I think, we're going, there's a lot more added features on this machine. But before we go ahead, there's two versions of this Atrex. There's the basic and the professional one. The basic, I don't know. For me, a Rutus Alta 71 has a basic setting when you turn it on. So I don't think you can get more basic than that. So this is obviously, some people, like, you thought it was complicated, didn't you, Dave?
Yes, very, very.
But that's
in fact, I was using both your settings from the Team Rutus website because I couldn't suss out what to do with it myself.
But if you put it in basic, I was at Detectiveville 3 years ago. A woman won one in a raffle, and she was from. Do you remember her, Tony? Did you speak to her? Polish lady. She'd never used it before, and she was quite new to detecting. She turned it on, put it on in basic, and she found a hammered within 3 hours, I think. And it just goes to show that I think it runs at quite a low frequency in basic, but
it's about 8 in basic.
Yeah. So why they've made it even more basic, probably to appeal to people who yeah.
I think so. I think this is my theory. So you're right. There is a basic setting, and there are a bunch of turn on and go programs. Basic and coins being the obvious ones that people would normally go towards. But people like Dave see the fact that there's a lot of adjustable features and think that they should adjust them anyway. So the new version of the software, because this is one of the key new features that the detector has, you can actually download and install completely different software version onto it. Not just a different version as in tweaking it, but it changes the interface. So the basic version of the software, which is available to download from the Rutus site, takes away a lot of the customizable options and makes it more like a switch on and go machine. I'm not going to mention any other manufacturers. I don't want to downplay anybody else's machines, but when you switch it on, there's not a lot you can change. You pick your program and you crack on. That basic version of the software you can install and have that running instead. So say if you wanted to, I don't know, lend your Atrex to someone with less experience, or kid or something like that, Dave, I wasn't going to say it, but he's pointing, so why not? Someone like that, then you can install the basic version instead, and you can even install it in the middle of a field, because you can do it over your mobile phone because it's Wi-Fi. So you can install that over the top and use that instead of the more advanced version of the software with all the features and all the things that can be a little intimidating for people who are either not used to it, not used to more complicated machines, and those sort of things. It's kind of like having two machines in one, really, from that point of view, because of course you don't lose the features and the great construction that goes with the Atrex, but you can opt to run it in a less complicated fashion, as it were. And I'm not sure there's another detector that really does that. Lots of them have, programs you can pick, but actually having an entirely different version of the software that changes everything about it, I'm not aware of a machine that really has that.
No, I mean, if you bought,
I'm asking you, Adrian, as the world's greatest detector reviewer, you'll have seen it if I were them.
There must be. No, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think actually, but yeah, it's a clever way of doing it, and if you want to upgrade to the Pro, you can just upload the software. I'm
you
going
can
to
just switch it back by reinstalling the other one. And what it also does is it gives Rutus and Atrex in particular, it gives him the chance to look at other completely different versions of the software as well in future and add them to the list of downloadable versions of the software that you can add. And you can choose then which one to use for whatever circumstances might be, appropriate from that point of view.
Yeah, it's similar to how XP have done the last 12 years. The machine hasn't changed physically, but the software has evolved and evolved and evolved, which when you think 12 years, a metal detector, that is a blinking long time. And with all the environmental malarkey, well, I shouldn't say malarkey, impact going on at the moment, I think personally there's going to be new people coming into the hobby who want a machine that's going to last and be repairable and replaceable. I think the Atrex, the only thing I'd like to have seen would have been a rechargeable battery pack.
I think there's a few features that we thought were coming that I think have been held into reserve for the next machine. So they're already looking at the next piece. So I think the rechargeable battery is an obvious one that I think we'd all have liked to see. Waterproof for the entire detector, and I think some form of collapsible or telescopic stem as well were the other thing that we're looking at. And those are the things that they're still working on, but they will be in the next release detector in however long the next one comes out.
Yeah, we've got to remember this is a small company. This isn't a big manufacturer. This is a small company in Poland, so paying for all the stuff.
What you said a minute ago about new people coming to the hobby, I firmly believe there'll be new companies coming into the hobby as well, because so many people have seen the price of machines and the amount of machines that are out there. I mean, China are doing it already. Dr. Otech and Panky and what have you, they're all popping up here, there and everywhere. So, and I know there's, I think you mentioned there was Eastern European, another Eastern European company about to launch a machine.
One company in Europe working on a machine at the moment that's never made a metal detector before. And that will be quite interesting.
There's a lot of competition in the market now. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think Rutus's advantage is also its disadvantage. They're a small sort of family-run company. Eric is an engineer and detecting enthusiast. So when he builds machines, he builds them kind of for us because he's an actual, detectorist himself. But they've got limited resources. They do like to do everything internally in Poland. So, as Adrian said, there's no Chinese screens or components. As much as possible, everything is sourced, produced, built, manufactured in Poland. So, it's very much that sort of basis. So, whilst it keeps it small, it keeps the quality very high. And the things that you get with Rutus in terms of build quality and some of the features that they put in that you wouldn't necessarily see anywhere else, because Eric's a detectorist and he's out weekends, in Polish forests, etc., detecting, and he's building features into the into the actual models that people want and will use going forward. It's just unfortunate with that size, sometimes you don't quite get the speed that some of the larger manufacturers with much bigger resources and budgets have. But patience is a virtue. Detectorists should know that. How many times do we go out on a weekend and find nothing but buttons, and then a few weeks later down the line you find a hammer or two?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to walk over it. No, it's still got 71 frequencies. This dual mode, Tony. What's all that about?
Do you mean the old dual mode, or do you mean the water reject side of it?
They're saying the dual mode the same as the old dual mode.
Yeah. So in the Alta 71 and the Atrex, what's he doing now? Oh, I can see what you're doing. Yeah, that makes sense. In the Alta and in the Atrex, you've got different types of sort of operating for the detectors. You've got your classic motion detector with discrimination, you've got non-motion mode, and then you've got dual mode, which sort of combines the best of both of them. So I always see it as like having a fourth element of information when you're using the detector. So if you look at teamrutus.uk and and the PDF that's on there, my program in there uses dual mode because I think you get more information with it. So that's the same on the Atrex. But the Atrex also runs two frequencies at once in the water reject mode as well. So it has two frequencies running when the water reject feature's put on specifically for water detecting. And as I understand it, what it does is the second frequency helps neutralize and completely ignore the fact that there's water there in the first place, be it fresh water or seawater. So it's sort of taking a different approach to how it handles water and detecting in water than most other detectors. It only works in certain circumstances. I think it has to be under 7 kilohertz from a frequency point of view to work. But it's definitely a different approach. I'm looking forward to, I don't think I'll ever say the words I'm looking forward to going beach detecting at all. I don't think I'll ever say those words. It's not my thing, but I am interested to see how it performs on a beach, or if I can get it in a stream or something on one of my permissions.
The other thing that interests me is the EMI preview. Oh God, interesting claw hands.
Such a big kid.
Some machines are susceptible to EMI more than others. You can notch it out and change frequency, etc. But the Rutus, I've never had any problems with EMI ever. I can honestly say, if it gets a bit chatty next to my mate with his knocks, I'll just change the frequency shift on it. But this has got something interesting. It's got an EMI preview screen, hasn't it? Well, yes. Is this whilst you're detecting?
Yeah, so if you go into the screen whilst you're detecting, it will analyse the EMI in the surrounding area for you and show you at what frequency the EMI is highest, allowing you to then select a frequency on the machine that's furthest or further away than the EMI frequency in the surrounding area. So you'll be able to easily and visually see where the EMI is highest at a frequency point of view, and then select accordingly. I've got a couple of permissions, one that's got a lot of power lines in it, another one that, for whatever reason, the farm always keeps the electric fences on. and you can shift, and obviously even with the Alta 71, you can move them up and down. But that's a bit faffy if you don't know which way you're going to try and avoid them. You don't know what frequency they ask. This gets around that completely because it tells you what frequencies are being, polluted by the EMI around you. So it's one of those weird features. When I heard about it, I thought, did I need that? Do I need that? And I'm already looking for the excuse to go at one of my high EMI permissions just to test it. Because I think in certain circumstances it'll be really beneficial, especially when you've got 71 different frequencies to choose from normally.
Yeah. Dave, could that be used to find ghosts?
Why, a ghost made of metal?
No, I was hoping.
You mean from your
yes,
ghost hunting days? Isn't there an electrical meter thing that's supposed to pick them up?
Yeah, what they
EMF
call?
is it, however?
EMF meters measure the area's EMF. They don't pick ghosts up. They can't pick ghosts up. How can they pick a ghost? The ghosts go around, go woo, and spread an EMF.
I think you've picked him on a sore point here, Adrian. It's Adrian's fault, Dave. It wasn't me. I didn't bring it up.
I've had it on for 12 hours in the dark room, and it hasn't picked anything up. I was hoping it would, but it hasn't. So obviously that's why.
Yeah, make sure it's a dark room, because obviously ghosts only ever come out in the dark.
Yes, and they're also only over 100 years old.
Yeah,
and they don't do dinosaur ghosts. They don't do that old. Battery life isn't that good.
No, they don't, do they?
Maybe I should need to be in the dark so the white sheet shows up better.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that on MySpace or something tonight. So I've seen a dinosaur ghost. So going back to the machine, Tony, it's got 8 reaction speed, not recovery speed, reaction speed, which is a nice little feature to have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you think about the Alta 71 and the reaction speed and sensitivity and the settings on all that, all of the pluses, all of the positives have been brought over onto the Atrex. I mean, even to the point of the coils are interchangeable between the two machines, and then they've added the new features to make it even better, combined with the nice color screen, which is quite nice. Been playing with the color screen today. I'm enjoying that already. Just to interject, Lee, no new episodes available to download of the podcast, basically because I haven't had opportunity to download the audio files, but I'll get onto that while I'm off work over the next couple of days. Go watch some CC Detect videos if you're getting bored, Lee. Yeah, do that. See me get loads of buttons. Yeah. With his sticker. So the Alta 71 worked on 71 different frequencies. How many does the Atrex work on? Or have you said that? Atrex. Yeah, no, Atrex, Tomato. Yeah, exactly. Easy to combine them. 71 as well. So it's got the same frequency range as the Alta 71 has as well. So it's basically the Rutus Alta 71 fine-tuned with additions. Yeah, it's fine-tuned with additions in the same housing, in essence, a bit like what Not to Macro have done with the Legend. The Simplex Legend, Simplex housing. Legend. It's got a significantly faster processor as well. I think they're quoting it as being 3 times faster than the original processor. So, for speed, detection, reactivity, reaction times, all of those sort of things, all of that should be improved. So, your reaction to the information will be quicker. So from that point of view, you should improve all of those aspects as well. So they've gone from using Celeron to Intel. Now he's looking for an analogy. Intel. Yeah, probably. Intel. Yeah, something. Let's go with that. Something like that, given none of us know about processors. Tony, would you be able to, if you got batteries in yours? I have, mate. Yeah. Would you be able to turn it on and show us the colour screen? Yeah. Oh, the other thing as well, the wireless receiver is different. It's the one thing that's not interchangeable. You can see the wireless receiver here. Yeah, the OS2. So I've just had a message from Dominic Tomczyk who says, and I quote, soon will be wireless headset available for the Atrex. 2 to 3 months, they're quoting. Right. So the wireless headphones. In the meantime, there is the new wireless module, which you can see I've already Velcroed it to my headphones to make it properly wireless. I don't like having them trailing in my pockets and things like that. So that's now wired. connected on Velcro onto the side of my headphones to make that work as well. That's the only thing that's completely different in terms of interchangeability. Yeah, there you go. Comes with a belt clip as well, which I don't like. Not that I don't like their belt clip. I don't like belt clips, full stop. Yep, there you go. Oh, and by the way, the white Atrex coil, the new one, is also compatible with the Alta 71. So if you wanted to swap it onto the 71 for play, you can do that as well. They're all backwards and forwards compatible, if that makes sense.
And also, this used to have a 1 AA battery, and now it's USB rechargeable.
Now that is rechargeable, yeah.
How do you turn
But
it
don't
on?
lose the recharging wire because it's not a USB-C. I'm not actually sure what it is, but it's somewhat unusual.
It's actually a Type A, I think, an old one. So
you
like
go.
you used to get on old mobile phones. So,
Old mobile phones or old cameras. You might have one in the house somewhere in a cupboard. Right.
PC, several people have asked what whiskey you're drinking.
It is, what is it? Monkey's Shoulder or something like that? As a present.
I like that.
Yeah. What's he doing there? Yeah, Monkey's Shoulder. It's got a really nice bottle.
between his
Very
legs?
nice taste.
What's between the drawer? Oh, sorry. Thought you were
Just been childish again.
highly
Something
recommend
like
Monkey
that.
Shoulder. Highly recommend Monkey Shoulder.
Yeah,
Really
I've
good.
got frozen shoulder.
Yeah, David. Chip shoulder. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah, we
You're
saw the
gonna-
pictures.
You're
Right, hang
going
on.
to turn us on. I mean, turn it on.
Baby.
Press the right button. See if that's better, isn't it? Ooh, you get a nice little
Oh,
sign
that's
up.
nice. La la la
Yeah.
la.
Player
This isn't going to
one.
work, is it? Because it's on screen. Let's see if I can get it in. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
His face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Just yeah.
Oh
And
man, that unicorn's well metal.
that holograph display, Tony.
Yeah.
Is that the
It's
same
colour.
as the? Yeah, it's color. Oh, it's color.
Yeah, the colour. It's a blue line now, I think. Yeah, blue line.
Right.
So
Wouldn't that be lovely?
what's a
Yeah.
holographic display? What's that gonna do?
So on the Rutus 71, you a bit like the Deus, where you have an XY axis. So you have but on the Rutus, you have basically, without getting too technical, you have if it's a good signal, it's a straight line, yeah, and if it's a bit like foil or iron, it's normally a bendy signal, like a distorted one, or if it's just a mess, it's trash.
Yeah, the straighter the
however-
line, the more likely it is to be one type of metal, a pure type of metal. That could be, copper, could be gold, could be silver, whatever. But the straighter the line, usually, the more likely it is it's going to be good, in inverted commas, under it.
However, I don't always go by that because I've dug many a hammered that is a weak signal and the machine at depth that the machine struggles to get a good reading. So
And that's hammered in general on any machine. They often come up scratchy and a little bit dodgy.
Yeah.
And then, especially,
Yeah.
like you said, at depth or on the side, cut quarters, cut halves.
yeah. Although, the Deep Tech Vista was good with hammers.
We know
obviously.
you've got a new favourite machine, mate.
Yeah, well, I found some very good things which you'll read about next month in Treasure Hunting.
I'm looking forward to the review, as always, mate.
No, good.
I guess the other bit with the Alta and the Atrex is it's an additional point of information because you've got the target ID and the Atrex and the Alta have got 6 different types of target ID just at a numbers level. You've got the tones, which are really good and very customizable on both machines, but then you've also got the hodograph as well. So not most detectors don't have that third element or third dimension of information. A few, as we touched on, 3030, the Deus do, and the Rutus is in that. And I think a lot of people find it quite useful. Kind of depends if you're a tone sort of person or a visual sort of person. Certainly helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Gareth Howard has an interesting point about it. He says, "Does Princess Leia pop up asking for help on it?"
That
And
would be
then
amazing. Can you imagine if it did? That would
Rob
be amazing.
Random
Wouldn't it?
says, "Is it like Star Wars chess? Let the Wookiee win."
You should always let the Wookiee win, or Rob.
Yeah.
Adrian, something you've just mentioned about, and I want to come back to it later, so I'm putting you in mind, is about reviews. Something we need to come back to later. Treasure Hunting Magazine.
Yeah.
Penny's dropped. Is Penny not dropped? New website.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. I'll bring that up later. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just reminding you. It's just come to me. That's what I wrote down.
Sorry.
I'm lost. I assume somebody's got a new website that Adrian's helped build. I'm guessing.
No. Well, no. Shall I just quickly mention it? You don't mind, Tony, because it's relevant to those interested in the Alta 71, which no doubt will be quite cheap on eBay in the coming weeks or months.
I'll sign mine when I get to sell it.
Well, yeah. If you want to, if you're new to metal detecting, or you are looking at getting a second machine or buying an old machine, Treasure Hunting Magazine now on the website has got loads of reviews on detectors. So you've got the Simplex on there, Vanquish 540, Rutus 71. I think you've got some old Garretts on there.
Got my Xterra 705 on there. I found the
Xterra 705. So we've decided to let people have them for free. They could, historically people have ordered like old back issues, which you can through Treasure Hunting. But now on the website, I think there's a button at the top that just says reviews or detector reviews, and you can download the PDFs from there for free and print them off and read about them. If you bored doing nothing, you could do
Two things I noticed while you were talking then. When TC pushes his glasses up, his gimbal goes up. And when he looked down, it went down. Please don't look down any further. We don't want to see your naked bottom off in the show tonight. Thanks.
No, he's got shorts on.
I should never have told you about that, should you? Never mind.
You should never tell us about anything, really.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's why I never tell you where I park or pitch my tent when we go out detecting, because it's just dangerous.
Well, you're always late. I reckon you park about 2 miles away. Because
I like to think of it as a leisurely start to a morning, not like you lot.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I had a nice leisurely start at Detectable, didn't I, Adrian?
Blimey, yeah. Pineapple rum.
Pineapple rum.
So you're going out this weekend with the Atrex, and I am as well. So what's nice is, for me especially, is this. I know the Rutus well, like you, Tony, and it's one of my favourite machines, if not my favourite machine. And I'm so looking forward. Everything's in the same place. So it's almost like, someone having a Vanquish 540 and then getting an Equinox. They're different controls and settings, but the tones are the same. So it's going to be a pleasure to use, and I'm looking forward to writing a review on it because I think it's definitely going to be better. Definitely interested in the depth because I'd say if anyone uses one of these machines, the recovery speed is fantastic, isn't it? For the money.
I found a floorboard earlier when I was messing about in one of the rooms with it that had got, for some reason, it must have had 8 different nails in it, and you running over the top of it with the it was like a machine gun going off as it went over the different nails, which were all like an inch apart.
That's one of the things I've always been privy to when Luke's been showing people at events, the Rutus Alta 71. I haven't personally seen a machine when this particular test done with the semicircle of different objects, the speed of which that's picking up different things. Phenomenal speed rate, that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you notice it when you're using other machines that don't have it. I think to a degree, if you use a machine like a Rutus and you get used to it, and I think you become a little bit unaware of just how good it is, because it's your normal, it's your day-to-day, it's what you go to. But sometimes using other machines, you're like, hang on, why has that just missed that entirely just because I've swept it to one side or another? Because the recovery speed is completely at odds with anything you're used to. It sort of puts that into perspective. So I think getting out of the weekend with a machine that feels already familiar. I went through the program earlier just to see how it was all laid out again. It's like already feels like you've been using it for 6 months, because it is based on the Alta 71. It takes all the best bits and then improves everything.
Do you ground balance your machine, Tony, or do you use the automatic ground balance on the Rutus 71?
So on the Alta 71, when they changed it so that there was more detail in the ground balance, then I would I would often just use the automatic. And that is one thing that they've changed on here. So now the procedure is it's got a coil balance, which will automatically go into the factory ground balance unless you want to then ground balance additionally. So that'll be interesting to see, because the Alt 71 didn't have a coil balance from that point of view. So that'll be an interesting to see from a setup point of view, from a getting it going point of view, whether or not that makes a substantial difference to anything, or whether or not it's just another one of Eric's nice little developments based on user feedback. I know when they changed it last time, a few people found it a little bit complicated in the way it works compared to the old one. So I think they've improved that again and sort of gone, once it's coil balanced, you can just crack on if you're not bothered. Which is, what a lot of the more recent detectors have sort of done. They've kind of said you don't really need to ground balance this if you don't want to.
I'm a strong believer in ground balancing, so it depends on what the soil types are, but I'm gonna try the Atrex in basic mode with no ground balance, as if I've literally just bought it from a shop, and see how easy it is and how good it is, and then ramp it up a bit over time. So
yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in basic and coins. I'm not going to tweak anything. I'm not going to start putting my settings in, and just see what it's like from, as a newbie would be using it from that point of view. Quite excited because I'm back on one of my arable permissions that I thought I'd lost until the spring, and only found out yesterday that the farmer's got one field that hasn't been sown and won't be sown until spring. Just happens to be the field next to where I found the gold gilded Christ figurine from a couple of months ago. So I'm like, now I've got a new machine and a good permission. Fingers crossed we find some good stuff.
Did anyone in the chat, or Dave or Tony, read today about the money that farmers are going to be getting for quality soil as of next year? So soil monitoring. So that, did you hear about it, Tony?
I heard something, but I didn't see the details.
So basically, farmers are going to be encouraged to basically have more ground cover in the winter to protect the soil from getting eroding or getting damaged by cold temperatures and stuff like that, and also better water runoff. So they're going to be planting a lot more fields in periods when we were potentially detecting ground cover. So it's going to be quite interesting. Rob Brandon's just put, hope that stops them putting green waste. So do I.
Just what I was going to say.
When I saw the headline, I thought that's what it was about. I thought it would be about cleaning up.
It is. They're gonna get money for looking after the soil by putting more ground cover in and that. But I hope they send out someone from somewhere to check the soil, because the green waste. Oh, me and my mate James, we went on a field the other month, one we've detected on for years. I'm like, what the hell's this? It's like chair legs coming up. There was bolts, handlebars, bikes, and this green waste was all over it. And you have to be careful, because you don't know, you don't want to upset the farmer or the farm manager or whatever.
It can be quite a difficult conversation with a landowner in those circumstances.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, but it was absolutely riddled with it, and I'm pleased they're doing it. But at the same time, the ground cover and grasses and flowers and all that malarkey, it takes a few fields away in the months.
I mean, most of my arable permissions normally have winter cover of some form or another on anyway. This one's quite unusual. I didn't even realise she'd not put any cover on it over winter. So I'm not sure it'll make a massive difference to me. I hope they do something about the green waste point of view, because if you do speak to farms, half the time they don't know until afterwards anyway. A couple of mine have been massively apologetic. They've been like, we didn't realise, I had it covered with things that were meant to make things better, because they use plasterboard and stuff like that, don't they, to improve the soil quality, and yet they're stuck with something that, I mean, let's be honest, they're not creating fields for detectorists to have fun on, are they? It's for crops and that, but none of them want that sort of waste in the fields anyway, because it's not good.
No.
Not good in general.
It all goes in the food we eat, doesn't it?
Exactly. So,
but then saying that, you think how much lead there is in the ground, and that's known to have links with dementia. So the amount of lead you dig up.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't eat it or suck it or anything like that, we can all avoid being like Rob Brandon if we do that.
Yeah. So
Controversial.
I'm just waiting to see what's written in the chat. You know, it's always good fun having Rob in chat. Is he still banned? Because he's still not using Rob Random.
We don't absolutely have no idea. I've got access to the stream now, and there's no way, shape, or form. There's about 5 people who are banned on it, and he's definitely not one of them.
Because I can't get in
So,
on my
no
TC
idea.
Protect account either, so I don't know what it is.
Well, obviously you wouldn't be banned because you're TC. You're unbannable. You're nice.
TC on whiskey.
Rob's a bit random.
TC on whiskey. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm not drinking Coke.
I'm drinking Fanta.
I didn't know if we'd get around to mentioning apps, so I thought I'd better have a drink.
Oh, yes. The App Store for ArkMD app.
Yeah. Which is a good point I should mention as well. I have created mobile app versions of the Atrex user manual in both Polish and English. So if you want a more easy to use version of the manual than the PDF that you can use on your phone in the middle of a field, they are available. If you go on the Rutus UK and the Atrex Facebook pages, you'll see the QR codes, but I'll put them up on the Rutus site as well at some point. If you scan those QR codes with your smartphone, it will allow you to download an app version of the manual onto your phone as well.
Marvelous. Well, we've in about 5 minutes' time, we've got the Just Detect draw coming up, and news on a special draw which you can join currently on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group, only on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group. So if you get yourself over onto there, you'll be able to see what I'm on about. And I've just found a nice new feature which our streaming provider has added, and I'm just doing something that will make it all far too easier for the second part of the show when we start talking about the Megraphta. Something that's new and I hadn't seen before. No idea if this is going to work, but hey.
Do you use the Megraphta, Tony?
I do indeed use a Megraphta. I was because Paul, who runs Megraphta, is relatively local to me. I've been helping him test them since the early days, not the announcement thing that we're going to touch on later, but the original versions of the spade and then the carbon fiber version of the spade. So I still wander around with mine thinking, where's my spade? Oh no, it's on my shoulder.
Very
Not
good
been
stuff.
quite as brave as Dave, jumping up and down on it between tables and things.
Hey, someone had to.
Yeah. So you've got your Rutus Sort of 71.
Yep.
You've got a Garrett Apex.
An Equinox 600. And now the Atrex.
Now the Atrex. Where do you keep them? Oh, God, I shouldn't have asked that because I know where you keep them.
I have a TARDIS. I keep all mine in a TARDIS in the downstairs hallway, which looks great. It's a great place. It seems such a perfect place to keep metal detectors, which we use to find the history. Is put them in the TARDIS.
Did you get that off Wish as well?
No, my middle son was a big Doctor Who fan, and he had it as a wardrobe, and then grew out of it and said, I don't need a Doctor Who wardrobe. And I went, brilliant. I need somewhere to put all my detecting stuff. I'll have the Doctor Who wardrobe and use it for that.
Right. Okay.
Right. Shall we go over to this week's Just Detect draw? Let me see.
So I can not win again. First. Yeah, let's do that.
Not win again. And Just Detect have announced this week that they will. It'll be now £5 a year for membership for basically access to the insurance, the prize draws like this, which is open to all members of Just Detect, and some other bits and bobs as well. So get yourself over to there. So tonight's draw. First prize is a Mind Lab backpack. Second prize, a composite cleaning pencil kit, and third prize, the Deus handbook.
Good book.
So. Oh, and these are some of the recent finds on the Just Detect app as well. No idea who they're from, but some lovely bits on there, aren't there, gents?
Yeah, Norfolk Button Bowie.
Not enough buttons. It's not my interest.
Oh, I like that one with the bullets. Good picture, that is. That's a Chris Langston picture. If
Oh, I found a butterfly like that the other day. That's not mine, but
it's good finds there, nonetheless. And more that you can go and see anytime yourself on the Just Detect app. So, first prize. Oh, there was me. I'm in it.
It's gone past you. You're not going to win now.
Already got a My Lab backpack. In fact, I think all my gear's in a My Lab backpack now. Alan Davison. Well done,
nice,
Alan.
well done.
Second prize for the composite cleaning pencil kit, which we will be discussing shortly. Wondered if that's Graham Gooch, the cricketer. Daniel Orr Detecting, or Dane Law Detecting. Dane Law Detecting, that sounds better. Well done.
Yeah.
And the Deus Handbook. Scotty B. Seen Scotty B.
Who was the one there? 10% or something?
I saw Rafa. He's definitely a Liverpool fan. Andy Hutchinson. So first prize, Man Lab Backpack to Alan Davison. Second prize, Dane Law Detecting. And third prize, the Deus Handbook to Andy Hutchinson. Well done to all. And thank you for Just Detect for including us on their draws. Where's StreamYard? There it is. There we go. So another brief video for you. Is that the one? No. Is that the one? No. There it is. It's the new Christmas stuff, all from Graham Dempsey at the composite cleaning pencil. And we've got a free competition that he's running, only available to enter on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group. So please get over and get on it. All you have to do is simply comment, I'm in, and like it for your chance to win. First prize, this will be done next week, will be a composite cleaning pencil box full kit, which is the wow factor all over that. So I think that's more or less every product. The second prize is a coin cleaning clamp kit. So I try and say that, even if you mean normally. And third prize is a 3D printed wooden box kit. Competition closes next Thursday at 9 a.m. You can only enter here and once only. You can only win once and UK entrance only, please. And what he's going to be doing is a random number generator. He's going to issue everybody a number. And then the Wandom number generator, that's like Wob Wandom. The Wob Wandom number generator will appear on the show same time next week, when we've also got, I think, 2 prize draws from Just Detect. So that's the composite cleaning pencil kit competition. Get yourself over there. It's free. We like free.
Good stuff.
So we've spoke all about the Rutus Ultra 71, and we've more or less got another bit of it's been a release for not the Rutus Ultra 71. We wrote about the Rutus. I've got a hat on. I'm reading it off my hat. A Rutus Atrex, Ultrex, Atrex, a new Rutus. We've got one of them. There you go. We spoke about that, and now we're going to speak about another new product. which has come all the way from Yorkshire, like Tony, is the Megraphta. Now, the three of us are massive advocates of the original Megraphta spade. We've all had one. Tony, you were one of the very first people to have one. And me and Adrian not long after. And I can't personally, for somebody who's getting decrepit and unable to get up and down, to the way that I've altered my metal detecting experience on the back of using the Megraphta, it's helped me massively. And I know there's a chap who's using it who's got a prosthetic limb. It's helped him massively. And both of you, big advocates too.
I think it's not just for people who metal detect either. It's people who genuinely, and I think you might be seeing it appear other places soon that aren't metal detecting because people are very interested. It's British. There's no supply chain issues. It's made, designed in the UK by a Yorkshireman. I nearly said Welshman to annoy him, but he's probably not watching. But
Lancastrian's better, mate. He really ate War of the Roses and all that.
Oh yeah,
Tony's from Lancaster. He's just a closet Lancastrian.
But I had
face.
I had some of the early ones.
Not funny.
They did.
Not funny.
They did have.
It's not big and clever.
They did have a few issues. Some of the early ones, like the pegs were bending and stuff, and you might have had that, Tony. But now he's revamped it and he's made it stronger and tougher. I understand, Dave.
And he's took each and every one of our words on it, of our ideas for it, and he's evolved the original to what it is today as well, and obviously used the technology that he's created from that in the following designs.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the things that he's keen to do as well, is to keep pushing forward with adapting it, changing it, taking that feedback and improving it. It's a bit like Graham with a composite cleaning pencil. You think there's a composite cleaning pencil, but then there's also a coin cube and a magnifying glass and wax and etc. They want to keep doing that with the Megraphta as well and keep developing what they offer and how they offer, and keep the quality up as well.
Do you know, me and Graham, we spent a lot of time together at events, and we speak to each other more or less every day. And you want to see his head go into overdrive when you say to him, well, wouldn't that be a good idea? And his head goes into this miraculous idea, and he creates something a couple of weeks later. You know what you said to me, Dave? Have you seen this? What do you think of this? Always does it.
He's like Will Flunn.
He is. He's Will.
People who don't know who Will Flunn is, Google it. It was a 80s or 70s. That was a kids' program, wasn't it?
70s and 80s, always on telly.
Yeah.
Where's that now?
Yeah, so I think it's great because these are British companies that are doing well. We've got all the export and customs issues going on at the moment. It's a shame there isn't a metal detector. Well, there was nearly that's British that could support this, but yeah, they have certain software.
They have other models that they still sell, I believe.
They do have other very good models, but unfortunately, they did have one that was great, and then it went bad, and then it got good again. The software, it's the software. This is the thing I think people forget of a metal detector. It's like a car you can have a car with a good engine, but sometimes you do get a car with a bad engine and it lets it down, or vice versa. And there's two parts to the story on a lot of metal detectors. So getting the balance right is right. Right. Dave, you all right?
Yeah, he sent me the video, and I'd uploaded the video to the site, and I can't find it. So I deleted it, so I'm having to re-upload it. I do apologise.
I suppose the only downside you got with all these British things is they cost a lot more money, but not so much the cleaning pencil stuff. I think that's very good value, and I think the Megraphta is good value, but obviously you're not going to beat the Chinese on a lot of things. And Paul's Megraphta isn't cheap, but then if you look at detecting with a poor quality spade and it snaps or breaks, it can ruin your day. Whereas a Megraphta, right, I think the new one's a bit more expensive, but the pleasure you have in using it. I don't think it's not until you use it, is it, Tony, that you realise this is so light and so nice to carry all day long. And you get, like I do, owls. Have you had that? Where if you have the spade over your shoulder and the wind's blowing, there's a hole in the spade and it goes. And
I've not noticed that. Are you sure that's not one of your ghosts?
No, I spoke to Chris Rogers, Addicted to Bleeps, day before yesterday, and me and him were laughing about it. He sings songs with his when it starts howling and making noises. He sings along with it as mad as well.
I mean, it's probably the best thing you can do with windy holes.
Gareth Howard has asked, how does he claim his prize Just Detect? If you contact them,
fax them.
Fax them. Admin at just-detect.com, I think it is. If you contact them, and they'll sort you out. Right, he sent me a load of images. Now, am I right in saying, Adrian, his new blade is a little bit thicker, so it's a little bit heavier. It's something like 2 mil thicker than it was. So it's a little bit heavier than it was, the Megraphta, but it's still light as tuppence. That's a new phrase I've just made up. And it has a new type of blade, teeth on it. The teeth are different as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's actually a third version of the Megraphta as well, which is a little bit different again.
Yeah, and it's powder coated as opposed to, it's got a stronger powder coat finish, which obviously isn't cheap because it has to go through an oven and electrostatic and all that malarkey. So I haven't seen it. Well, I've seen pictures, but I haven't got one or anything. Christmas coming, housing manager might buy me one, but
well, I put together this new thing, and I'm hoping it works. Oh yeah, it does work. You can actually put images into a file, so I don't have to go and show you on screen now. That makes things easier in my life. So I'm not sure what the third one is. Paul, if you are in the chat, can you just give us a bit of information about the two new spades, please? But
that's new.
That's a nice new colour as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the green.
Oh God, I'll remember it in a minute. It's a grey. It's a lovely grey. Begins with an A, I think. Oh gosh, I should know.
Is it a grey? That starts with an A.
No, it's anthracite grey. It's a lovely grey.
Look at you.
Yeah. And it can dig a hole. Look, there's the owl hole at the top, just under the handle.
That one there. Oh, you can't see. I'm not whipped that. That's we were talking a while ago, and I said I have a bandolier on mine. You know, one of them straps like the Wookiee has. I have one of them on my old one, and it would be a good idea for that. And that's why he put that hole on the handle, was so you can attach something to it. And obviously, down the bottom, mine's got a zip tie and the other end of the thing, so I can hang it over my shoulder. Again, which makes my life a hell of a lot easier.
Oh, that's wider.
Yeah.
Megraphta's in the chat. Megraphta. Oh,
woo,
Megraphta.
they look posh. Paul, Megraphta, can you give us a few brief information about the size difference and the weight difference? And am I right in saying there's two new shovels? And in that case, what are the differences, please? Well, that one in the middle looks used, and the others don't look as used.
So the middle one, I think, is the first one. The one on the right is...
The one on the right has got teeth on both sides, hasn't it?
Yeah, and then the new one is on the left.
The one on the left, that's got rounded teeth on the opposite side, it looks like.
Yeah.
And I believe the connection between the blade and the shaft is altered and improved now as well.
Yeah, that's been toughened.
The grey bit on there.
Oh God,
toughened shaft.
Yeah, toughened shaft.
You need a tough shaft; it helps.
Yeah, and I love the British Union Jack on it, and the.
No, it's not a British Union Jack. Usually, is it like British one? He had the Yorkshire Union Jack on for a while. I love the Yorkshire Union Jack.
Yeah.
Puts Lancastrians off buying it though.
See what you're saying.
Yeah. And
I mean,
I
that seems
think
reasonable.
and I think the thing that we might see in the photos or we might not is when you split the shaft down into two, because obviously it's adjustable on the height, it fits lovely in a normal backpack. So, you know, you can put it in your backpack if you're walking a long distance, like a mile or two to detect, rather than carry it. Although I use it for a walking stick a lot of the time as well.
Paul said the one in the middle, the Mark 1, the one on the right was the Mark 2.5. He was testing and still am. And the one on the left is the Mark 2, which is out now. So the Mark 2 is out now. Let me just go onto the website.
I'll just
it's the Hybrid 2. It's the second version is now live on the Megraphta website. So that's Megraphta, Megraphta, megraphta.co.uk. Pop into the products and you'll find it there.
Yeah, that powder coat finish looks nice. Anthracite grey looks really, really good. Oh, very nice.
In fact, I forgot I could share the screen, can't I? How was Luke do that? Oh, I know.
I could
share the screen.
Do you want me to do it?
No. I'm there.
So
add to stream. There we go. So there you are. And there's a new product.
$94.99. So let's say you've got a Knox or a Deus. That's 10%, pretty much, nearly either way, of cost. But when you look, it's the next most important thing to your detector. Plus, it's not so heavy carrying it around. I'm glad I've got one. Put it that way.
There we are. We're back again. Keep blacking Tony out there. So, lovely looking new product. Well done to Paul. That looks great. It's getting a lot of good feedback, apparently.
Although he has had one unhappy customer
that he's had to deal with this week. I think that was his Mark. Might have been his Mark 1.
Yeah, one, and that's the sort of person. I think they're unhappy at everything. If they won the lottery, they'd moan because the money wouldn't be delivered in cash in a case or something. But but he's dealing with them.
Right. So we've spoke about the Rutus Atrex. We've spoke about the Megraphta. Get yourself over and get one. And now it's time, Adrian.
Oh, spin.
We need an intro video of that.
I'll do one. We have actually, Tony, you might not know, we bigdetectingshow.com. We have a website now. Didn't you know, Tony?
No, I might have mentioned it somewhere, but I might have seen some mention of it.
Well,
let's have a look, shall we, at the Big Detecting Show web. And don't forget to get yourself over to the Big Detecting Show YouTube channel, which we will be migrating the show to as soon as we get the numbers up. And we'll be having a little competition with a nice product that's behind me when we're there and when it's ready to launch the channel and the show on the channel. Won't we, Adrian?
Oh, yes, definitely. John, but it'd be good if I could get something with... Should we do a Deus 2? Oh, no.
Yes, please do that.
Yeah, that'll be out. There's a lot of machines coming out. A lot of machines.
So let me share this again. And we'll add to the screen. So this is... Adrian, I think you've got that wrong, that. I think we are the world's leading online metal detecting show because I don't think there's any other chat show quite like this that have the quality of the guests that we have and the content that we have.
No.
So I think you're
Well,
under thinking us there.
yeah.
You're not a bank. You don't have to substantiate it.
No, that's true. And there's a little new thing on there, Dave. If you go up now, there's a new little bar there, toolbar at the bottom. See it scrolling along?
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
what we're on, 2nd December.
if you don't want to go on the Book of Faces, because you might get pulled into buying swimming pools or something, you can just go on our website and it will tell you who's coming on the show next.
Which you can go there, or the YouTube there.
Yeah.
And then you've got last week's show there with Pete and Helen and other recent shows and about other things that we do and find us in other places and other images of us. That's a nice picture.
Yes.
That's a nice picture. They're all nice pictures.
Yeah.
That's a nice
It's
that's
very
like
well
one.
designed.
Yeah,
Cost us-
oh, what's he doing there? You're
I
off
still
me.
feel the pain.
So do
yeah,
I.
we had a professional company in London design it for us. It's
Cake
taken
eating
months.
detectorist.
Yeah. So
There's Luke.
Fix them.
right.
There's Luke. Oh, it was Luke.
That's
There's Nicola.
a bit. Yeah. So let's get on
Right.
to
Spin the coil. Right. Are you ready, TC?
Oh, yeah,
Put
throw it
the
out, mate.
sound
Come
on,
on.
Dave.
Here
Put
we
the
go.
sound on.
Where's the sound?
Scroll up a bit or down, up. There you go.
Oh,
That's it.
ready?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Favorite button.
So many to choose from.
What is your wish detector in the future, Mister?
No feature. What would you
Yeah,
love?
definitely doesn't say that.
Sorry. What is your? I thought it said future. I can't see. What is your most wished for detector feature, TC?
I would like, and I think it's something that Quest have done, but I've not heard good things of the implementation of it. But I'd like something that has a very good implementation of a mobile app, so that once I've been detecting, I can see where I've been, what I found, and all of those sort of things are recorded better. I think mobile phones are now at such a place that we should be
Which
integrating.
you can actually do that now on the Just Detect app, if you didn't know that.
Yes, but I want it to connect directly to my actual detector so that everything
Brilliant.
is mapped and everything else. That's the one. As a gadget boy, I'd be in heaven.
It is available on more expensive machines, but you're right. I think Quest are getting there. It's a
Yep.
bit clunky, but it's getting
Yep.
improved. But it's
What about
getting
yourself, Adrian?
right. What do I think of the Quest one?
No, what was your wish for detector feature?
I've forgotten it, but it was quite a good one. I don't want to tell you because someone will steal it.
I've got two. My first one is what's coming on the Nocta Macro Legend, and that's a clock. Because I lose track of time, and I generally have things in my mind to be in certain places at certain times. So I would love that feature on the Legend. And my other one, because sometimes I'm a bit tired and a bit oaf-like, I'd like a laser pointer, which when you press the laser, it points to the spot where you should be digging, because sometimes I end up all over the place.
A laser pinpointer. That's interesting.
I'll tell you what, I've remembered now, and someone in America does it, but they don't ship worldwide. And it's like a mini tripod that goes on your detector made out of aluminium, and it folds out into a little seat. So you can sit with your detector. So that'd be quite nice. Right.
Number 2.
Favorite button.
Favorite button. Tony, did badgers scare you?
No, I have no fear of anything in the fields. Cows occasionally when they start paying too much attention, but badgers, no. To be fair, though, a badger's never attacked me, or I've never had Adrian think that it's attacked him, around me or anything like that. So I've been okay so far.
Adrian, did badgers scare you?
Yes.
I
genuinely
love badgers. I love them.
I probably nearly got attacked by. Did I tell you I fell in a ditch again on last Thursday? Did I tell you?
It's hard to differentiate your ditch falling exploits, mate. They seem to happen frequently.
Were you drunken?
No, I'd had one can. I stepped in some brambles, which I thought was about a foot deep, and because I crossed the ditch before, I was on my own. And you know how you lift your leg up high and then push it down because I wanted to step over the brambles. I fell down a 6 foot ditch head first, and then I've got my detector stuck, my spade stuck, all my legs in the brambles. And
did James not get any pictures?
James wasn't there. If he was, he would have helped me. No, he wouldn't have been able to because it was.
Eventually, it would have helped you when you stopped laughing.
Yeah. So no, he knows the ditch. It's awful. But yeah, sorry. We move on. Oh,
pants or pillow?
To take detecting with, or as a personal choice?
I don't get this one.
If you're on a desert island, right, what would you rather have, pants or a pillow?
Definitely a pillow. Who gives a flying about pants if you're on a desert island?
Oh, okay.
I'd go pants because you could fold them up and use them as a pillow.
Like a nappy.
How big are your pants? No, don't answer that.
Have you seen the size of me?
Right, okay. I think we'll remove that one. That's been in there. Ooh.
Favorite meat snack?
I was a vegetarian for 20 years, so
Shut up, you woman.
Most meat snacks are now my favorite meat snacks. Snack, probably some cured meat, pepperoni, something like that. Something you can just grab out of the packet.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, we've got pepperoni.
Pepperoni, not pepperami.
No, there's no meat in pepperami, surely.
No, but it tastes like it, so it's all
Do you know, I was at the Manchester Christmas markets the other day, and there was a stall that was selling copious amounts of different salamis, etc., and you could have got a bundle of them for a tenner. Big ones, and obviously they last for ages. But I was on a mission to find the cinnamon biscuit stall, which is normally there, and couldn't find it, so I missed out. Adrian?
How did the lack of the biscuits stop you from buying the sausages, though?
I'd gone. The sausages were way before. I was on a mission to find the biscuit, so I didn't want to stop at any other stall till I found the biscuit. I did get some nice chip shop curry flavoured cheese.
Okay. I've had that. It's nice. Oof. Yeah, very nice. Good. Highly recommended. Mine would be, well, it's a bit controversial. It's obviously sausage rolls like everyone else, but that's got, I'd Scotch egg really, but it's sort of a bit vegetarian, isn't it? Thrown in.
Them Scotch eggs up at Detector.
Yeah, I'm not sure the vegetarians would argue that eggs are vegetarian, but hey.
No, that's true. I just thought of that. Well, I think they are.
Do Scotch eggs hatch into Scotch people?
That's where haggis come from.
TC, what was your first detector?
It was a Chinese detector. I got some Amazon vouchers for Christmas, and I thought I'm going to try that metal detecting larky. Thank you to the detectorists. And I bought something that was called an Inti LCD machine. It's about 130 quid. It worked. So as an introduction to metal detecting, found my first coin spill of Georgian pennies and half pennies, got me hooked, and within 3 months I'd bought the Rutus 71.
Marvellous. Adrian?
A Garrett. No, well, that was sort of.
I can't remember. There's been so many now.
C-scope, but I can't remember what one it was. But it was a very popular one. This is about 1979. So
mine was my dad's C-scope 600 series.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as that.
See?
Oh, no, it's not working, is it?
Told you.
Must be a way of altering the script so it doesn't repeat question.
Yeah, there is, but I've broken it. I've got to change it.
Are you a member of a club?
Metal detecting, not like latex fashions for men.
God damn, I was going to... No. No, I'm not. I joined the Yorkshire Searchers or something like that. That I joined like when I first started, thinking I'll go out on group digs, but I actually kind of like it for the solitude and the peace and quiet. So group digs aren't really my thing. I love meeting everybody at Detectable and going up to Detecticon and meeting Scotty and all that was great. But my normal weekend is me field BP stick, and I'm happy as Larry for a few hours.
Good.
Adrian, you are, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
Is it Braintree or somewhere?
Yeah, one of the founders with
Of the
Braintree Metal Detecting Club. Yeah, so it's only been going for 4 or 5 years, but we've got about 250 members now. So it's had a Christmas party last night, Tony. I drank too much, so it was good. Lots of prizes.
And
do the car keys go in a bowl then?
No.
I'm loosely the chairman of the Tempest Metal Detector Archaeology and Metal Detecting Group. We've got about 15, 20 members, but we've not done anything as a group since before COVID, which needs to change. We'll make this the last one, shall we? There's a good one.
Ignore that one because Tony hates Beechill Field.
I hate beaches as well.
Yeah.
Tony hates beaches. Well, you don't hate them, do you, Tony? But you're fortunate to.
Favourite?
Wow. We should start with Dave while I collect my thoughts.
Not Jaffa.
Costco Victoria Sponge.
Okay.
Or Kerry brought me to Detectable Marks and Spencer's individual lemon drizzle loaves. Oh my God. Oh. There you go.
Cool.
Tony,
I've got a farm shop near me that does fresh cakes every day, and their chocolate eclairs are like German market sausages. They're absolutely huge, almost impossible to eat in one sitting. But I always make sure I do because you don't want them to go off, do you? You know.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, exactly. I'll go with their chocolate eclairs, but just those specific ones.
how do you eat them, Tony?
As what?
How do you eat them?
Oh, as messily as possible, smearing it all everywhere. Yeah. I mean, if I can make comedy faces out of it as well, it's even better. Yeah. I mean, the cream squirts out at the end of it. You name it. It's great. It's like carry on as well as eating cake.
I try my hardest to behave and it all goes to shit.
It's like a Russ Meyer film come to life.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, you want to know what cake? I don't really like cake.
That's just not right, is it?
I don't mind Victoria Sponge, but my mother-in-law makes. But
Gareth always says an eclair filled with sausage.
No, I meant the dimensions. I'm one of those people where you can't cross sweet and savoury. I don't do pineapples on pizzas or any of that shit. Chocolate in gravy. What a vile invention that is. Yeah, no, it's got to be separate.
You know what I had for tea? I had
chocolate gravy.
IKEA meatballs, right, on a bed of rice, and I thought it's missing something. Mrs. Sadler got some Bisto pepper sauce, so you imagine it to be proper nice peppercorn sauce. I had steak last night, made it. It's not anything like peppercorn sauce, but it is like the sauce that you get in IKEA that goes on the meatballs.
I can make that. I make that myself. The IKEA sauce. It's easy. I had actually IKEA meatballs Wednesday night, Dave. How weird's that? We both had IKEA meatballs this week. Actually,
I want IKEA to do what they're doing up in Scandinavia. They sell puffing in Scandinavia in the food shop. I want to try puffing because I think that's another one to add to the list.
Me and Adrian have both had balls in our mouth.
Yeah, puffing.
Puffing,
little bird.
The
puffing,
bird, the seabird.
Oh,
yeah.
No, we're not cocking it. It's not puffing. It's puffing, not puffing.
Yeah, puffing. I'll look it up in a book. Book.
Somebody from Essex cannot take the mickey out of northern accents.
Sorry?
Somebody from Essex cannot take the mickey out of northern accents. That's just not right.
Was he saying metal mickey or something?
A cockney can't speak and take the piss out of us.
I'm not a Cockney.
You can't take the piss out of people from Lancashire like Tony and me.
Or Yorkshire.
I can. Anyway,
it's
Right.
it's past now. We're past the video time. So we spoke tonight about the Rutus Atrex. I'll get there. We spoke tonight about the Rutus Atrex. We spoke tonight about the new Megraphtas, hybrid version 2, and the up-and-coming 2.5. And we have had the Wheel of Coil of Fortune. And don't forget to go over and join in the free competition on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group, not the page, the group. You'll see it on there for entrance into the composite cleaning pencil Christmas draw next week. And don't forget your Just Detect entries into, if you remember, a Just Detective draws on there as well. I think that's everything, isn't it, gents?
yeah, well done, David.
And your free books and your books. Don't forget the identifying detector finds and the new Bennett's artifacts from Greenlight Publishing. And I think, am I right in saying that will be Treasure Hunting Magazine and Searcher will be out any day?
Treasure Hunting dropped in my post box today.
Treasure Hunting is out in the shops now, the new one, and it's got, how can I forget? It's 132 pages bumper issue, and it's got the Paz report in it.
Yep.
And I think I'm right in saying both magazines have an introduction into a new metal detecting organization representation company, a new organization for the representation of metal detectorists in the UK. I think that's an introduction.
Yeah, you're right. There is a very interesting thing about that. And although it's new, it's not new people, if that makes sense. So they've got a lot of
It's new, but it's not new. And the book's Eagle Eye DJ, Identifying Detector Finds, with me on the cover, apparently. And Bennett's 4th edition, Artifacts of England and the United Kingdom. And you can also get multiple other books, Finds Identified 1 and 2, Medieval Artifacts and Bennett's, Roman, British coins, and books by Julian Evan Hart, and all the Detector Finds books from Gordon Bailey, and War Coins of the Sun, books by Chris Rudd. You can get them anything from Greenlight Publishing. So, there you go. Thank you for coming on the show tonight, Tony.
Pleasure as always.
The Rutus Atrex.
And keep an eye on TC Detects on YouTube, because I'll do some specific videos on the features of the new Atrex, so you'll get to see all the new changes as well on there.
I mean, next bit was, Tony, can you introduce your YouTube channel to everybody?
It's like psychic abilities here, isn't it? Get that EMF meter out again.
He's going to have puffing meatballs tomorrow. Oof.
I'm imagining.
No, zebra steaks.
Sausage cake.
Zebra steaks tomorrow.
And his sausage cake. Thanks, Tony. It's been a pleasure. Adrian, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you for everybody who's been on the show tonight. And I think I'm going to end the show because I don't know if Luke's there or not. So thank you to Luke as well. And we will see you all next week. Good night, everyone.
Cheers.